The time slots are tight, so I will directly invite the first speaker, who has already taken the floor. Very welcome, Per Hjertén.
Thank you.
At IVA, the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences, who will give you a brief about the project Cybersecurity for Increased Competitiveness. Please.
Thank you. Nice to see many of you here, many known faces, as usual, in this cybersecurity work. IVA, as we heard, the Royal Swedish Academy of Engineering Sciences, is an independent academy among other academies in Sweden. We consist of about 1,300 elected fellows, 250 member companies from both, and the fellows are from academia, business, policy, and public sector, so it's a mix, crossover the different fields. IVA's mission is to make a positive contribution to society through technical and economic science, and to develop both society and the business. At any given moment, out of this network of people, we run so-called IVA projects, and this project is one of those. An IVA project is normally a 2-year structured discussion process. And we started this project in 2021, and we will continue working until this summer. We presented our main report with some suggestions how Swedish cybersecurity ability can hopefully be strengthened in October last year. So my main points today will be some examples of these suggestions. I also stand out in the corner of the hall where we have a couple of paper reports, and the report is also available at iva.se, of course. We have financing from mainly Vinnova, but a large group of other funders that makes this project possible. It's a budget about 5 million Swedish crowns. And the steering committee, a rather knowledgeable group of people, the chair is Håkan Buske, previously from Saab, now at FAM in the Wallenberg sphere, and a couple of other well-known experts and names. I already saw Staffan Truvé here today. I don't know if you are sitting here. And of course, Patrik Feldström, Pontus Jonsson, who is involved in the cyber campus that we heard from Shahid earlier, and so on. Also, we have a political reference group, one person from each political party in the parliament. Especially great to have Paul Jonsson, who now is defense minister. And we'll hear Oskar Bolin later today also. And then about 40 other specialists divided into 3 working groups that have been working during these 1.5 years to develop this analysis and suggestions. So the main discussion in the work has been around 4 themes. You can see them on the slide. Cybersecurity is an undervalued strategic factor for competitiveness. And then we mean both competitiveness in the classical market way with the companies and the business world, but also the society competitiveness. Sweden has to, as Tommy said earlier, be a strong, innovative nation. We want to be an attractive partner for collaboration in both research and innovation and other fields. And in that society perspective, we also have tools like public procurement, of course, internal connections between business and research and agencies and so on. So it's sort of 2 different dimensions there when we talk competitiveness. Sweden is not adequately equipped to meet cyber threats. That is, if you look into the details that we write about and that we discussed in the project, it's about political governance that can be strengthened. I heard some rumors that maybe Carl-Oskar Bolin, the Minister for Civil Defense, will talk about today, I hope. This link between cybersecurity and information security and competitiveness needs to be strengthened. Closer collaboration between business, research, and the public sector. We also had looked a little bit on other countries. Strong nations are Norway, UK, France, We heard Switzerland, Germany, when it comes to cyber campuses. And of course, there is a lot to learn. Many of these countries have strong national cybersecurity centers that are the national natural authority. We also have a national cybersecurity center since a couple of years ago, but it's not yet the strong national way to go. We have many agencies that sort of have this responsibility together. So we believe that this needs to be a bit more focused. And the suggestions in 5 key areas. And the first one is on this level of improving governance at the national level, where we suggest from this project that Sweden needs a Security Council within the Prime Minister's office. Now recently, because this is a moving field, things happen while we talk. We have a dedicated national security coordinator, Henrik Landerholm, who will actually start to, it's not only cybersecurity, it's a wider scope, but hopefully that can also cover some of these ideas that we present here. The cooperation between different sectors and parties, especially between the business, näringslivet, and the public agencies and the public sector. A lot of things are done, many have responsibilities, but we believe by talking to people that this also can be even more efficient. Establish some kind of natural platform for this kind of communication, and maybe also gather the available resources and make even stronger communication there. It's also about incitements. Private companies that have cybersecurity incidents have some there are regulations that you have to report to the agencies, but what do you get back? So understand these mechanisms is important. To strengthen the operational capacity of organizations, large companies, as we heard from Ericsson, Saab, of course, and others like that, they have resources and knowledge and own research, so they know a lot and have ability to act. But small companies, medium-sized companies, maybe local municipalities. We saw colleagues, we saw, it happens incidents all the time with the smaller actors that don't have resources. We believe that we can establish some kind of norm or standard within cybersecurity. Of course, there is a lot of guidance material and initiatives taken, but that is also, there are potential to collect that and make it even more available, to make it easy to do the right thing, even for the smaller and not so resourceful actors. Of course, we support the initiative with the cyber campus that Shahid presented, so I don't have to say so much more about that. And then the last point there, mobilizing resources, we have 3 rather concrete suggestions. One is to establish a national strategy or a regime around training and testing. We heard about the ranges, and Stuart Kowalski, I understand, comes to RISE now also. But what do we get out from these testing and practice activities? Sometimes people are proud that they finalized their test, but it has to reach further, and maybe some initiative to get more efficiency out of these activities. Pool of resources, volunteer people, difficult because it's security, but we know that the defense organization gave some instructions to one of the volunteer organizations, the radio organization, FRO, to actually strengthen and develop the cybersecurity field. It will be interesting to hear what they do of that. And the last one, bug bounty programs, incentivized, you pay white hackers or ethical hackers to help find vulnerabilities in your systems. Many private companies in Sweden do that, but not so many public agencies and in the official sector. We know in France, in Switzerland, in Canada, in Finland, also the public sector do this. So we will actually arrange a small roundtable discussion later this spring to try to see, could that be a possibility also for the Swedish public sector? So during the spring, we finalized the project by doing that kind of implementation activities. We will do a study visit to Asta Zero test facility in Göteborg, Borås. We met with Haverikommissionen to see if they can also go into the realm of cybersecurity. There is nothing in their regulations that stops them. Also a bit more funding and some decision from higher up. You can do some pilots and see if they can help in these incentives to avoid others doing the same mistake or having the same incident. That's the way they work in the transportation. So that was a short description about what this project published in the autumn. And we are standing here in the corner, me and my colleague Staffan from IVA office. So please come and talk to us if you are interested. Thank you.